Good evening, Antoinette. Okay, so I just read an article, several articles, so I can try and get enough knowledge for this video, is the Trump administration, specifically the new administration of the FCC under Trump, might retract net neutrality. I am saying might. There's no definitive answer on this yet, because the Trump administration is making key points to get rid of overpowering government regulations that could hinder business and economics and job growth, which I understand. I completely understand this. And they're trying to retract regulations that do harm to something, especially economically, that hinder growth. I just said this in a different way. And apparently one of those possibly outdated regulations is Title II with net neutrality. If you don't know what net neutrality is it's essentially how a lot of YouTubers and streaming service are able to do what we do. It's saying that the internet is essentially like cable, like electricity, like water. It's a utility. It's something.
What's up, man?
You're still here? Alright, anyway. But yeah, Title II is saying that it's a utility, something that everybody should have a hold of. It's something, especially in today's culture, where everybody uses the internet. We get our information off the internet. Hardly any paperback or paper encyclopedias or anything exist. So in reality, everybody should have access to internet. And if you don't, that's like oh my god, are you still in the cave? Are you still living in a cave? Are you in the Stone Age? So it's sitting here like net neutrality is something, especially I, for one, agree with. Net neutrality is something that is there. It's important for us to have. In my opinion, it keeps us growing. It keeps the growth of our current life going. There are some that are saying the regulation with net neutrality, saying it's a Title II, could be hindering economic growth. Because a lot of companies are, without net neutrality, could potentially having people pay, like YouTube, Netflix, Hulu, other streaming services, to have to pay them to get higher download speeds, to get better frame rate, to be able to function as they should on their streaming service. Whereas, if they don't pay it, then their download speeds are drastically cut, or they'd be added to the consumer bill, saying, "Oh, you want Netflix? Pay an extra $20 a month, in addition to your subscription or something." Just like they do with all the 300 channels, 900, however many channels there are now, like with Comcast, you have to pay for the NFL network. Essentially, you'd be paying the same amount for the NFL network as you would say Netflix or Hulu, just so you could get the same streaming services. Or like how T-Mobile has Binge On and their free music thing, where music and whatnot, and certain music services and certain video services don't affect your data limits. And that's Verizon has something similar, Sprint has something similar, and net neutrality essentially saying that all companies should have the same. It should be at the same playing level, to where they should all be able to get the same download speeds, no matter who controls them. Like Xfinity has their own on-demand service, same with DirecTV and whatnot. And they're essentially saying if net neutrality wasn't a thing, then DirecTV could upcharge for Netflix and Hulu and keep their streaming service at the best download speed on the planet, to keep the customers watching their stuff rather than going off to Netflix and Hulu. And it's also helping small companies and small businesses jump onto the internet, because a lot of small businesses, even with a Kickstarter or something, can't afford to pay to get through paywalls, because they're just starting out. If they can't get the same download speeds as Netflix and Hulu, and they want to be a competitive service with it, they can't, because they can't get through that paywall that Comcast or another internet provider put on, because they're not paying anything. It's limiting the amount of it would limit the amount of competitive aspect of the internet and of services that are provided. And that's why I for one agree that net neutrality should be a thing, that internet should be a utility, something that everybody needs to have. Because there are still plenty of people without internet and without great download speeds that suffer. I found several videos and articles talking about this, and there's some places, like even 10 years ago, when internet, like almost everywhere had internet, but not everyone had access to it. And those who had access were at a greater advantage than those who didn't. And today, if you don't have internet, if you don't have a cell phone, something's wrong with you. You're even, like, it's net neutrality is also there to try and help low income consumers be able to have access to this. It's there so everybody can use it without possibly needing to go to the library, especially because even the library has internet. Everywhere has internet. That's where I used to need to go just to access the internet, because our internet in my house sucked. We had crap internet. Some days we couldn't even access the internet, so we just went there because it was faster, it was better, we could do what we wanted, but we were still limited to 2 or 3 hours. I forget however much, I don't remember how much it was. And that's why it needs to be a utility, is so everyone can have access to it, is so everybody doesn't have to get through a paywall just to be able to access it. And everything is transferring to the internet. You hardly see physical newspapers anywhere, except in certain areas. They're still made, but you access more news, you access more articles online than you do through paid subscriptions. So this is the thing: if the if Trump and his administration is going to downgrade on regulation, saying that we're regulating too much, saying that the government is overstepping its boundaries on this particular one, I do not believe that they should get rid of this. Or if they tweak it, they shouldn't completely stop net neutrality. I don't think they're going to get rid of it. I don't know if they're going to get rid of it. There's no confirmation yet. All that we know is that the Trump administration is going through and getting rid of old and outdated regulations that may or may not still need to exist. They're looking through each one and seeing if it still needs to be there to try and up competitivity, up economic growth, and help with job creation, which I understand. I think that needs to be a thing, that some regulations do hinder us, but some are there for a reason. Some are there because it's necessary to have that regulation. The question is, which side is Trump's administration on? Are they on the side of, if it hinders any kind of economic growth, let's throw it away? If it stops big business from getting bigger, let's throw it away? Is he in Wall Street's pocket right now? Or is Wall Street in his pocket? However way the cookie crumbles on that one. Because yes, he's a businessman. He has not, as far as I know, he has not disattached himself from any of his business deals, which I believe he should. He is president. He should not have any bias in the sense of, he should not have his companies he should put his companies on the back burner or hand it off to his kids at least while he's president. Afterwards, I don't care. But those businesses could add something to the mix where he's not on on the middle class's side or on the small businessman's side, because some of these regulations are set into place so small businesses can be competitive with large companies all over the board. So this is where it comes into question. What will Trump's administration do? Will he destroy net neutrality? Will he help net neutrality? Where does he stand on this line? Or is he going to help create a paywall for consumers and small business, especially small businesses, to have to get through? Will you have to pay extra just to use a free service like YouTube? Will you have to pay extra on top of subscriptions like Amazon Prime, Netflix, and Hulu? Will you have to pay on top of those? And net neutrality is trying to limit that, is trying to limit what internet providers charge you. They're trying to keep it so a low-income consumer can have all those services. I think net neutrality needs to stay. If anything, maybe it needs to try and reduce the prices that is charged for the internet and help create more online jobs, help the online community grow more than it already is. It is growing exponentially, and we need to keep that growth because that's the society we live in. We need net neutrality. So please join with me and plenty of others saying net neutrality is good. Keep it under the Title II, saying that it is a utility. We need to keep it there. If not, if not, then we're gonna lose a competitive edge. We're gonna lose a lot, especially those in low income families who maybe can't afford this, who don't have access to basically 24/7 Wi-Fi, 24/7 internet. They'll have to revert to textbooks. They'll be at a disadvantage without net neutrality. I'm just repeating myself at this point, so I'm going to end the video here. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments. Do you think that the Trump administration is going to stop net neutrality, or do you think they're going to help net neutrality? I'm going to put a poll right here at the beginning of the video. So if you didn't click it at the beginning, click it now, or click any time in the middle. And let me know. Is net neutrality good? Is it bad? Do you think Trump's going to help it? Do you think he's going to hurt it? I'm probably going to put 2 polls in if I can then at that point. So let me know what you guys think. Start a discussion down in the comments. Share this video. Get word around. If he is going to attack net neutrality, we need to protect it. We need to protect our right on the internet. We need to protect the small businessman trying to make a name for himself or herself online. We need to keep a competitive edge on the internet. Thank you guys so much. Again, like, share, comment. Do what you can to keep this conversation going. Let me know what you guys think, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Goodbye!